spend
Give
money
me a
on
you
food at a
people
strip club?
you white liberals have a lot of nerve.
That's identity
You
politics.
white
So, Royce,
liberals,
hold on a second. Hold on
you
a
white
second,
liberals
Royce.
hate when black men vote Republican. You hate when black men say that they like being American citizens. You hate when black men say that we want to have a border. You hate when black men say stop sending our money to the Ukraine. And you
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I just stumbled across this clip of a heated debate between Royce White, the Republican U.S. Senate candidate, and David Pakman on the David Pakman Show, and honestly, you'll see exactly why political interviews have become must-watch content in 2025. This thing goes completely off the rails with accusations flying from both sides, questions about campaign finance, debates over cultural issues, and a full-blown clash over media bias. Make sure you watch until the end because the final exchange is absolutely wild. Please comment down where you're watching from. It's great to see people from all over the world connecting in here. All right, now let's get into the video.
keep interrupting me. You brought
Royce,
me on your
you
show.
created this sidetrack.
You brought me on your
this
show.
sidetrack.
You brought me on your show.
And we're
You
not
asked me
talking
about a question
what I
about
talk
women.
about.
I'm answering a
But
question
Royce,
about
hold on a
feminists
second.
in the
Royce,
feminist movement.
Hold on, Royce. You
The point
sidetracked us
is when
with believe all women.
when you assume that all women are telling the truth or that we should believe all women on face value, by default,
I don't know anyone who has said that.
The whole movement of the whole MeToo movement was based on this idea that believe all women.
That's your assertion. I don't believe that to be true.
Oh, okay. Well, you let your viewers decide then. Let's go to the next question.
Trust but verify is the view that I've always had.
Believe
Police
all
have a
women
duty-
was the believe all women was
have
the
a duty to
commercial,
investigate
widespread commercial. Believe all women was the widespread commercial and cultural sentiment from the Me Too movement, 150,000%.
You know, Royce, you sidetracked us on believe all women, right? You brought it up out of nowhere.
The believe all women idea is a part of the claim that women have become mouthy.
Okay. Let me ask about a couple of other things.
And I will say, in that vein, when women are allowed to say things about men with no boundaries or no constraints whatsoever, and it's culturally accepted across American culture and across political culture, that is, in my opinion, more than a valid reason to be able to say, hey, women are getting out of control. And I do think radical feminists are getting out of control. I should have been more specific, but
I get the
thought I was
point
being
that
humorous.
you think women are out of control. I got it.
No. I said radical feminists are out of control. Be clear. And they are. That's why they're bringing their children to drag stripper shows.
Let me ask about a couple of things.
Do you think that's okay? Do you think it's okay to sexualize children at drag stripper shows?
I don't think the children are being sexualized if they go to a drag show. No, I just don't think that that's the sexualization.
You don't think children are being? Would it be okay for me as a grown adult male to take underage kids to a regular strip club?
I don't think they're allowed. No.
So why are they allowed to do it in private? But why aren't they allowed?
Royce.
Why aren't they allowed? Is it because of the alcohol or because of the sexualization?
I don't know the laws around strip clubs. I couldn't tell you. But Royce, if
maybe you should learn them though, because you're talking about drag shows. You have an opinion about the drag shows, and you say that's completely fine.
Royce, you brought them up.
But you have an opinion about.
I'm gonna have to mute you, Royce. I'm gonna have to mute you.
Okay.
You're bringing up topics and then telling me I brought them up. This isn't a way to be interviewed as a serious
I didn't say that. I didn't say you brought it up. I said you had an opinion about it.
You told me I brought up believe all women and that I brought up drag shows.
No, I didn't.
Brought those issues
no,
up.
I did not say that. They'll be able to watch it back and see for themselves how it went. I didn't say you brought it up. I brought it up. I'm going to bring up every topic I want to bring up.
Oh, so
you white liberals are not going to tell you. Yeah, I brought up the feminist movement and I brought up the drag stripper shows as an example.
Can we continue the interview?
Okay, wait. Did David Pakman just try to gaslight Royce about believe all women? Are we seriously going to pretend that wasn't the slogan of the Me Too movement? Like, I'm watching this and my jaw is on the floor because Pakman literally says I don't believe that to be true about believe all women being the message of Me Too. Brother, where were you in 2017 and 2018? That phrase was everywhere. It was on signs. It was in tweets. It was the foundational principle that got people fired, canceled, and destroyed without due process. And notice what Royce does here. He doesn't back down. He says 150,000%, and he's absolutely right. The entire cultural shift was about accepting accusations at face value without verification. That's literally what happened. And when Royce says trust but verify should be the standard, Pakman just moves on? Like, that's not the most reasonable position anyone could take. But here's where it gets really interesting. Royce connects this to his point about women being mouthy. And before you jump on me, listen to the context. He's not saying all women. He's talking about a cultural environment where radical feminists can make sweeping claims about men with zero accountability. And honestly, he has a point. We've seen countless examples of men's lives being ruined by false accusations, and when you try to bring up due process, you get called a misogynist. Then Pakman does this thing, this classic interviewer move, where he says, "But you think women are out of control, I got it." And Royce immediately corrects him. "I said radical feminists are out of control." See what happened there? Pakman tried to make it sound like Royce hates all women, but Royce is being very specific. He's talking about an ideology, not a gender. There's a massive difference. And then Royce brings up concerns about age-appropriate content for children, and Pakman dismisses it. This is where the conversation gets really important. Royce is asking fundamental questions about what kind of entertainment is appropriate for kids, and instead of having that conversation, Pakman deflects. He says he doesn't know certain laws when the real question is about values and parental rights. Royce is making a legitimate point about boundaries and protecting children from adult-themed content, and instead of engaging with it, Pakman keeps trying to control the narrative by threatening to mute him. That tells you everything. When someone won't even discuss concerns about childhood exposure to mature content, that's a problem. Parents across America are having these conversations right now, and Royce is representing those concerns while Pakman wants to shut it down. This isn't about being prudish. It's about recognizing that children need protection and boundaries, and that conversation shouldn't be taboo.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You brought up strip clubs. It was
Right.
recently revealed you spent campaign donations at a strip club. Is that true?
That's not true.
Okay. It's been sourced very well by the Daily Beast. Where'd they
It's
get
not
this
the
information?
Daily Beast. First of all, the Daily Beast is not a good source. That's number one. But number two, it wasn't well sourced even in that article at all. It was a reference to a campaign filing
Yes.
with the FEC that was not done properly.
Who didn't do the filing properly?
Whoever was in charge of the filing.
And who was that?
Well, there were a number of people, I would assume, who were in charge of getting that accounting done, but it wasn't
You don't
filed properly.
know who the people are doing your accounting?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, I know who they are. Do you want me to list the entire
Yeah.
list of people who worked on it?
Yeah.
So you have time for me to go through a list of people who worked on the filing, but you don't have time to talk about the details of the political issues you want to
Well,
discuss?
how many people is it?
Give me a break. Who do you people think you're fooling?
I don't think we're fooling
Who
anybody.
do you people think you're fooling?
So the people who
I
prepared
answered your
the
question.
reports.
I answered the question.
I'm
The
trying to
question is no.
understand it, Royce. The people who
question is no.
prepared the
The
reports.
answer is no.
The people
The answer
who
to your question is no.
I haven't even asked the question yet.
You did. You asked, did I spend campaign finance money on strippers? The
And
answer
you
is no.
responded, and now I want to ask a follow-up.
Okay.
Your claim is there were filings which said you spent campaign funds at a strip club, but they were incorrect filings.
No, they didn't say that I spent the funds at a strip club. Or no, let's say they didn't say that I spent the funds on strippers.
But it was spent at a strip club.
Well, strip club they sell food at the strip club, don't
So
they?
you've spent the money on food at a strip club. Is that more accurate?
You seem to be very unfamiliar with strippers and strip clubs and drag strip shows. So I'll inform you, maybe
Please.
you aren't informed, that they do have food at strip clubs.
So what you're saying is the money was
No, wait,
spent
did
at
you
a
know
strip
that though?
club.
Did you know that?
I know strip clubs have restaurants.
Have you ever been to a strip club?
One time.
Did you like the food?
No.
You got to go to better strip clubs then.
Okay. But so what you're saying is you did spend the money at strip clubs, but on food. Is that right?
Well, I'm not saying that I spent the money. I'm saying that there was a filing on my FEC report that shouldn't have been there and potentially should have been reimbursed by somebody who may have been at the strip club, but that there is food at the strip club. So to say it was spent on strippers is not based on factual evidence.
I didn't say that.
Especially not from the day that you did.
I said it's strip club, not strippers.
No, well, okay. Well,
Which is
that's
the
what's
same thing you're
implied
saying,
by
right?
the Daily Beast.
It's the same thing you're saying, right? So we
But
agree.
that's what's been implied by the Daily
Money
Beast
was
and other
spent
people
at
as well.
a strip club by someone else in your campaign on
That's
food.
that's what's been implied by the Daily Beast and other mainstream media outlets as well.
And what's the truth?
I just told you.
Someone else bought food at a strip club with campaign funds.
No, I told you about the FEC filing. You seem to have a lot of time for this one.
Well, it's because you're so obviously lying.
Okay. I'm so obviously lying.
Yeah, just tell me the truth. So did a staffer spend money on food at a strip club?
You white liberals have a lot of nerve.
That's identity politics.
You white liberals
Royce.
hate when black men vote Republican. You hate when black men say that they like being American citizens. You hate when black men say that we want to have a border. You hate when black men say stop sending our money to the Ukraine. And you go to the WWE politics to try and defend your latent racism. That's what it is.
Hold on a second, Royce. Hold on a second.
Oh, here we go. The campaign finance question. And watch how this unfolds, because it's absolutely masterful how Royce handles this attempted hit piece. So Pakman brings up the Daily Beast article about campaign finance issues. First of all, the Daily Beast, we're using them as a credible source now. That's like citing a tabloid and expecting people to treat it as investigative journalism. But Royce doesn't just dismiss it. He explains that it was an FEC filing error. Someone on the campaign team filed something incorrectly, and it should have been reimbursed by whoever actually made the purchase. But notice what Pakman does. He keeps pushing. Who was in charge of the filing? And when Royce says there were multiple people involved, Pakman acts like that's suspicious. Like, do you understand how campaigns work? There are accountants, treasurers, staff members. It's not one person sitting at a desk doing everything. This is a completely normal answer, but Pakman tries to frame it as evasive. And then Royce explains that the venue in question serves regular food, wings, burgers, normal restaurant items. If someone grabbed catering there for donors or staff, that's completely different from what the media was implying. But Pakman won't let it go. He keeps circling back, trying to get Royce to admit to something scandalous when Royce has already explained it was a filing error. And this is where I absolutely love Royce's response. He points out that Pakman seems unfamiliar with how these venues operate. Many establishments that have entertainment also function as regular restaurants and event spaces. That's just a fact. But Pakman is sitting here acting like any transaction at such a venue is automatically scandalous, which is ridiculous. Then Pakman admits he's been to such an establishment before, and Royce quips back with, "Did you like the food? I'm dying." This is peak debate performance because Royce is showing that Pakman's entire line of questioning is based on assumptions and moral grandstanding rather than facts. But here's what really gets me. Pakman says, "You're so obviously lying about the FEC filing situation. Based on what evidence? A Daily Beast article that made implications?" Royce explained what happened, a filing error that needed correction, but Pakman has already decided he's guilty. That's not journalism. That's a prosecution. And then we get to the moment. Royce says, "You white liberals have a lot of nerve," and lists everything liberals hate about black conservatives: supporting borders, questioning foreign aid, being proud Americans. And he's correct. There is absolutely a double standard where black conservatives are treated differently than black liberals. That's not conspiracy. That's documented reality.
Royce, aren't you against identity politics?
Absolutely.
So what are you talking about white liberals for, especially when
what do you
I'm
mean?
a Hispanic Jewish immigrant from Argentina?
Yeah, right, but you have a white liberal ideology. That's what's funny about it.
Oh, that's something different. All right, Royce, listen, when you start hurling stuff around like that, we do have to end the interview.
You have a post-World War II democratic liberal order, white liberal ideology.
All right. The man who denounces identity politics is playing identity politics.
No, I'm not.
Royce, I really appreciate you being on today.
Your latent racism is obvious. Make sure you post the interview. Don't be a coward. And
I can assure you, Royce.
Feel free to have me back on anytime so we can talk in detail where you don't cut me off. I like this kind of stuff. You people don't.
I can assure you.
I
love it.
You people hope that every black Republican or black America First that shows up is going to kowtow and sort of, curl up and run into the corner when you cut people off. That don't bother me.
Royce, I can assure you,
women have.
Royce, you're on a new topic now.
Feminists,
I can assure you, we will
radical
post the
feminists
interview,
in this country have certainly gotten way beyond the pale in terms of their ideology.
Royce,
100,000%.
You have my word.
You think it's okay to take little kids to drag stripper shows, but you don't think it's okay for grown men to get the chicken wings from strip clubs.
Royce,
you don't think that that's weird?
It sounds like a campaign finance violation. It's not my opinion. But Royce, we got to end the interview.
You can get food for donors. You can get food for donors from anywhere in the country you want.
We got to end the interview.
I could cater from Mr. Child's, or I could get chicken wings from a strip club. That doesn't matter. But you want to take little kids to strip clubs, drag strip clubs.
All right,
and you think
Royce,
that's okay.
Best of luck with the campaign, okay?
Godspeed to you.
All right,
Don't be a coward.
And here's the finale. Pakman tries to call out Royce for using identity politics after Royce said he's against it. But wait, let's actually think about what Royce is doing here. Royce isn't playing identity politics. He's pointing out the hypocrisy of white liberals who claim to support black voices, but only when those voices agree with them. That's not identity politics. That's calling out discrimination disguised as progressivism. There's a difference between saying, vote for me because I'm black, and saying stop treating black conservatives like we're not allowed to have our own opinions. When Pakman says, I'm a Hispanic Jewish immigrant from Argentina, Royce doesn't back down. He says, you have a white liberal ideology. And that's the key word, ideology. It doesn't matter what your ethnic background is. If you're pushing the same talking points as the establishment left, you're part of that worldview. Royce is critiquing the ideas, not the person's ethnicity. But Pakman can't handle it. He tries to end the interview by saying, when you start hurling stuff around like that, we do have to end the interview. Translation: when you make me uncomfortable by pointing out uncomfortable truths, I'm going to shut you down. That's not how honest debate works. And Royce keeps going. He points out what he sees as bias in how the conversation has been conducted and says, don't be a coward and post the interview. Because he knows what Pakman might want to do. Clip this out of context, make Royce look unhinged, and not show the full conversation. So Royce is getting ahead of it by demanding transparency. Then he brings it full circle with his concerns about cultural priorities and parenting decisions. He's pointing out what he sees as a contradiction in progressive values, being extremely critical of minor campaign finance paperwork issues, while defending certain cultural movements he disagrees with. Royce ends with, I can assure you radical feminists in this country have certainly gotten way beyond the pale in terms of their ideology. 100,000% you have my word. And you know what? Whether you agree with everything he says or not, you have to respect that he didn't fold. He didn't apologize. He didn't play their game. This is what happens when someone refuses to be bullied by mainstream media narratives. He stood his ground on every single point, demanded accountability from the interviewer, and called out what he perceives as double standards in real time. And that's why interviews like this matter. Love him or hate him, Royce White showed up ready to fight for his perspective. So what do you think of this? Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.